Yes, I've talked about systemic racism a lot on this show. And yes, racism exists. It's out there. You can deny it all you want to. But I do believe, as many, I'm not alone in this issue, even Republicans believe me on this one, that yes, as a whole, minorities are treated differently in this country by law enforcement. I truly believe that. Whether you're being pulled over by a cop for no reason or followed in a store, yes. So many Africans Americans out there, they want to hear from the Jewish community. They want the support of the Jewish community and people that are white. And as a whole, I think America has done that. Yes, there's a percentage of people that are not for the Black Lives Matter movement. I get that. But when African Americans ask for your support, whether you're Jewish or white, whatever you are, shouldn't it also work the other way around? Remember what happened with Deshaun Jackson a few weeks ago? Now, I like what Deshaun Jackson did. I thought it was a heartfelt apology, and he's actually taken action. He's donating to Jewish communities. He's visiting some Holocaust sites. The man is taking action. I give him credit for that. What he did was ignorant. But where were all the African Americans in this country, celebrities like LeBron James or NFL players that were, there were a few that came forward that said what Deshaun Jackson did was wrong, but a lot of people were silent. I find that to be disgusting. Would it have killed LeBron James to put out a tweet that said, Deshaun, what you said was wrong. Thank you for apologizing. We are with our Jewish people. So there's a reason why I'm bringing this stuff up.
Brian, there were actually only 2 NFL players. One was Zach Banner. And I can't remember, but there was only 2 NFL players that actually spoke out against what Deshaun, and there were 0 NBA players who said anything about it.
Well, and I spoke about that last week. I know you were out.
Yeah,
you were on vacation. I spoke about that last week, and I
you call that vacation?
I criticized many of people. I'm not going to say many people in the African American community because they don't have the platform that some of these athletes do. But yes, celebrities, athletes. They did not come forward. And now we're seeing a story that's come out that's even worse. And, if you're one of these people that is supporting Nick Cannon, let me explain to you what Nick Cannon did and what Nick Cannon said. Okay, Nick Cannon is, I don't even know why he's famous. I don't think he's good at anything except maybe getting tail. He was with Mariah Carey for a little while. I don't think he's talented at anything. If you ask me right now, why is Nick Cannon famous, I would tell you I have no effing idea. But anyway, he's an actor, and he hosts a lot of different things, and I guess the millennials like him. I don't. But anyway, on Nick Cannon's podcast, I didn't even know he had a podcast, he compared white people to savages and animals. Have a listen to this.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough, torrential environments. So they're acting as animals.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And then they built up such this I don't want to say warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality.
Okay, first of all, what the hell is he talking about? First of all, I don't even know what to say to that. He's just so ignorant. What are you talking about? Barbaric? You're calling us animals? What if a white person said that about black people? Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. But but it doesn't end there. He didn't just call white people savages and animals. Then he went on to the people of the Jewish faith, and it got even worse. Have a listen to Nick Cannon's thoughts on the Jews. Uh-oh, we're having some issues with the audio.
When we speak of, because this is where it truly is, and when we talk about the 6 corporations, when we go as deep as the Rothschild, centralized banking, the 13 families, the bloodlines that control everything, even outside of America. When we talk about the people who, if we were truly the children of Israel, and we're defining who the Jewish people are, because I feel like if we actually can understand that construct, then we can see that there is no hate involved. When we talk about the lies, the deceit, how the fake dollar controls all of this, then maybe we can get to the reason why they wanted to silence you, why they wanted to silence Minister Farrakhan, and they want to throw that we are having hate speech when it's never hate speech, when it's not. You can't be anti-Semitic when when we are the Semitic people, when we are the same people that you who they want to be.
I like it, by the way, how his co-host is like another dope who like if you're interviewing Nick Cannon or you're a host or a co-host with Nick Cannon, how do you just sit there and let him spout out this stuff?
It sounds like, remember we had the audio from the Florida guy who I think his name was Rick Wiles.
Yeah.
And his co-host was doing the exact same thing. Yeah, that sounds great. You're totally right.
The guy's first of all, Nick Cannon is a complete racist, anti-Semitic fool. This is more than just ignorance. Because I'm not even sure Nick Cannon is ignorant. Deshaun Jackson, what he did was very ignorant. I'm not sure Deshaun Jackson is truly an anti-Semite.
Yeah, I think Deshaun Jackson is just uneducated.
Just not very smart.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon is an educated guy who has a lot of hate inside of him.
And he's been in the industry for quite some time. And one more thing he actually said about white people was, when you see a person that has a lack of pigment, a lack of melanin, they fear that they will be annihilated.
Just ignorant.
So therefore, however, they got the power, they had a lack of compassion. Melanin comes with compassion. Melanin comes with soul.
And what a
He's
shocker.
basically saying that if you don't have melanin, you don't have a soul.
What would you say about Fox? Nick Cannon now is remaining as the host of Fox's The Masked Singer. I want you to close your eyes for a second, ladies and gentlemen, unless you are driving. Pretend for a moment that a white person called black people animals that had a hit show on Fox. Pretend for a moment if a white person went on and made, I don't know, some Islamic or homophobic statements and anti-Semitic statements and even came close to saying what Nick Cannon said. Would Fox have kept them on? No. So am I wrong for saying they're keeping Nick Cannon on because he's black? I think and here's the thing. Here's another part about this that drives me nuts, okay? So this is Nick Cannon's half-hearted apology. Remember when I said there are people that apologize and they don't mean it, and then there are people that are actually taking action? Listen to what Nick Cannon said. I want to express my gratitude to the rabbis and the community leaders and the institutions who reached out to me to help enlighten me instead of chastising me. So he's playing victim.
Yeah,
he's playing victim because he thinks people are chastising him, and he can't understand why. And so it's like a half-hearted apology. What Deshaun Jackson did was a real apology. Take a page from his playbook, you anti-Semitic fool, Nick Cannon.
Well, and Deshaun Jackson, he was reached out to by a 94-year-old Holocaust victim. And he is going to visit Auschwitz with that particular victim.
Which is why I gave him credit, and I feel like his apology was heartfelt, and I forgave him for that, and I think others should as well.
But now Steven Jackson is on the same plane as Nick Cannon, in my opinion.
That's different. But I want to, before I take some phone calls, by the way, at 702-257-5396, I cannot believe the people that are defending this idiot, Nick Cannon.
There's actually a lot of them, Brian.
He's worse than an idiot. Nick Cannon is an anti-Semitic, racist fool. Nick Cannon, you have no say anymore when it comes to Black Lives Matter. You have no say anymore when it comes to systemic racism. You fool. And by the way, for you Fox News fans out there, what do you have to say about Fox allowing this guy to still have his little TV show? And then we have people like Dwayne Wade, somebody who I've respected throughout the course of his career. I've always thought Dwayne Wade was a decent man, a decent human being. But I am going to question that now, at least question his judgment and his intelligence. Why? Because a since-deleted tweet by Dwayne Wade, former NBA All-Star, who backed Cannon on this. He said, "We are with you. Keep leading." If somebody white use the N-word on social media, and then Larry Bird, I'm just giving an example. Larry Bird would never do this, but I'm just giving this as an example, Larry Bird being white. And then Larry Bird went on social media to this person who said the N-word and said, "We are with you, keep leading." What would Dwayne Wade think about Larry Bird? What if Steve Kerr did that? What if anybody did that? What if somebody white called black people animals or thugs or whatever?
Well, that's what someone in the KKK would say about David Duke.
Yeah, well, so this is what Dwayne Wade does. He says, "We are with you, keep leading." Then he deletes his tweet. He's a dope. And then he goes on to say, "I want to clarify my now deleted tweet. I was not supporting or condoning what Nick Cannon specifically said, but I had expressed my support of him owning the content and brand he helped create." That is just Dwayne Wade trying to play cleanup.
And do you know where that came from? So Nick Cannon requested that because he got kicked off his show Wild 'N Out, and he claims it's a $500 million brand. He demanded an apology from Viacom CBS and also demanded entire ownership of his brand.
Well,
and that's what Dwayne Wade is referring to.
But it's not just Dwayne Wade. A known anti-Semite. This man, Ice Cube, has been an anti-Semite for decades. I've talked about it on radio shows for years, and now it continues. I'll tell you somebody who I have a lot of respect for, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This man, he calls out African Americans. He'll call out white people. He'll call out everybody. He's an equal opportunity, honest offender, and he's not even an offender. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, in my personal opinion, is one of the smartest people in this country. He is extremely intelligent. Yeah, he's a little bit aloof, and that's probably why he hasn't gotten a basketball job. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar cares. He cares about this country. He cares about social injustice. And you know what?
He cares about equality for all, not just for some.
This is what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said. He said, after all, if it's okay to discriminate against one group of people by hauling out cultural stereotypes without much pushback, it must be okay to do the same to others. It's illogical. And so that's what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said. Pretty fair. I think that's pretty fair if you're one of those African Americans that wants to spout out anti-Semitism, then we don't want to hear you when it comes to Black Lives Matter. I'll speak for myself on that one. I don't want to hear about your racial injustice. I want other African Americans that they don't have hate in their body talking about it. Not you, Nick Cannon. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's right. Here's what this idiot Ice Cube says. Shame on the Hollywood Reporter who obviously gave my brother Kareem 30 pieces of silver to cut us down without even a phone call. Why do you need a phone call, Ice Cube? Why do you deserve a phone call? So here's the question I will ask the people who are listening to this show right now. What do you think what would have happened if somebody was white and said those things that Nick Cannon said about Jewish people or black people? What do you think about Fox not getting rid of this guy? And what do you think about some of these African-American celebrities, or at least people that have a platform, that are defending Nick Cannon? I find it grotesque. I find it disgusting. It couldn't come at a worse time during this Black Lives Matter movement, and I am very pissed off. Let me give out the number, 702-257-5396. Again, that number, if you want to be a part of the program, is 257-5396.
Also, a very, very prominent African-American who's been, I would consider to be a mogul, and who actually I had a lot of respect for, is Puff Daddy. And Puff Daddy offered Nick Cannon a job at his new TV station, Revolt.tv. So he backed him as well, which I was very, very surprised by.
I'm not, because I think Puff Daddy is, again, an ignorant fool. All he cares about is money. That's all he cares about. He's a talentless fool, and I can't stand it when people call Puff Daddy a great businessman. He's certainly not much of a rapper.
No, he's
not a musician.
I would say he's actually an exceptional businessman, and he's a very, very intelligent marketer. And the way that he turned being having a couple of hit songs into where he's at with Ciroc and with his clothing line. I have a lot of respect for Puff Daddy as a businessman, but as a human being, after what just took place, that has been dropped a lot.
I don't. I mean, he's capitalized off of B.I.G.'s death. That's when he
definitely did that.
All of a sudden, when he became famous. So I have zero respect for Puff Daddy and another anti-Semite, another ignorant fool.